was to improve educational attainment. So soon after we arrived and the building was built, we did a piece of research, and what we found from parents was, I love my child, I want them to do well, but I don't know how. And since then, we have been helping parents with the how and supporting them. So 2000, we did 3 strands. I suppose one is around supporting children to develop the language, literacy, numeracy skills such that they succeed in the education system and go on and get jobs. And you can see a list in the area, and you can see a list of all the companies in the area that support us, and they're volunteering. They're considered by the local children as the real people. And one of the interesting ways they got involved was we've run, which is another strand, educational guidance. And the young people used to do a project every year, and they displayed the project, and staff from NCI and their parents and the teachers would all go around and tell them they were wonderful. And the kids said, well, we don't really want that, you telling us wonderful. We want proper critique. But they mightn't have used the word critique, but and we want real people doing it. So we brought in the corporate volunteers, and it has made such a difference. And they give them 3 stars and a wish. They tell them what they thought was good and what they could improve on. And you find that the children are actually telling their older brothers and sisters and their families about what the project is. Basically, they pick a career and they work back at what do you have to do to reach this career. And they're giving the career guidance to their families. The other project we have is a home visiting project that we took from the States. We started 2007 with 5 home visitors, all local people, all early school leavers, and 15 families. We are now up, just in the Docklands, we are now up to 150 families in Dublin, Galway and Limerick. Now it's very small in Galway and Limerick. And we have a cohort with the Pavey Point in Finglas with the Travelling Beauty. And we have, we've nearly 40 home visitors, all local women. Of the 30 that are employed and on the staff of NCI, there are 10 of them doing degrees this year, with 3 going on to do, 3 more going on next year to start. They all are FETAC level 5 trained or in the process, and I'd say about 25% of them are parents who've been on the programme. So it has caused a massive change, and as part of that, it started at about 18 months. We're now going from 0 upwards. And you can see parents are reading, talking and playing with their children from an early age. But like things, it's community action research, 75% of the homeless are actually in the north inner city. And again, we're talking about home from home places, trying to find places where parents, safe places where parents can read, talk and play with their children. We had one incident recently that was had the whole home visiting team in tears. A dad who was part of the programme, the home visitor was constantly praising him. He just started in September, and the last visit before Christmas, she was telling him how well he was doing with whatever, and he burst into tears. And he said he thought he was the worst dad in the world, and that nobody had ever praised him, and that he just couldn't believe that she actually thought he was doing a good job. And I think that's the impact. Parents who we had an intake there recently, somebody who'd been in care, has a new baby, young girl, postnatal depression. So for her it's the start of a journey where she will get the support from the local women and from the community to rear that child. They'll get her into services, they'll watch the child, they'll watch her. And I think that's the power of the programme. The last other area we've got into recently, we were funded under the area-based childhood programme, and one of the programmes we took from Tala was restorative practice, and they used it up north. We don't do parenting programmes because a lot of the time we can't get parents together in groups because of feuds that have gone back years and all kinds of issues. But so anyway, we felt restorative practice, that instead of targeting parents, we'd target everybody in the community. So we started it. We had a year under our belt. I don't know, over teachers, community workers, our own home visitors, and then all hell broke loose in the north inner city with the Regency shooting. And one of the things that came from people was what was working, was the home visiting. The shooting in Shire Street, there were 6 families being visited on that street. There was actually people in the building, home visitors in the building and across the street when one of the shootings happened. But they've continued, and because we're part of a community action research, what do? You reflect on what's happening, what do people need, and none of the services were getting support. So we came together with the CIPSI and TUSLA and the HSE, and we put in supports. There was peer support for services in the area and for families in the area. But anyway, as part of the task force, we got funding for the North Inner City Brighter Futures project. And everybody was saying what's needed, and I was saying, well, maybe a bit of calm is needed, and for us to really think about what's needed. So anyway, they gave us money to do basically an action research project using restorative practice to let the young people have a say on what was happening and where they would see the future for the North Inner City. So we had the first reiteration of that, where we had the Minister out and the young people talking, and again that's having a big impact, a positive impact, where people are saying, what's not working, what's working, and how can we make it better. And again, the whole use of restorative practice, where people have a method to talk through conflict rather than use violence, again is proving very effective and is making big changes. Just to say, they're the kind of things we're doing. Okay?